Computer. All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy June. I'm Amanda. I am the founder of Team Forge Fit Squad, and I'm so glad to have everyone jump on this call today. I'm basically going to get out of the way after I introduce this lady because she's incredible and she's got so much fire. I'm just going to let her just go for it. I wanted to have Kim jump on this call today because I've known her for 10 years. This woman has fire. She has purpose. She has passion, and her story is incredible. She can tell you a little bit about her past and about things that she's overcome, not only just with her past and her family, but her marriage, and how God has just blessed her through that. And now how her mission is to literally help women bust out through their shame, be the best versions of themselves that they were created to be. And she's just incredible. She was mentored by Les Brown, by Uncle Les, who is phenomenal. And, you know, in the coaching network, like Les Brown is fire. We're all like, Les Brown, he's so cool. So I was really excited that you could jump on with us today. So I'm going to just mute myself and I'm going to let you go for it, sis.
All right. All right, thanks. First, I want to thank Amanda for having me on this call, and she makes me sound a lot better than I am, so whatever. You guys have, and you already know this, the best leader, the best person that you could ever possibly have leading your group. I mean, Amanda is the real deal. I mean, she's the real deal. Like she said, we've known each other for 10 years, so it's an honor for me to be here with her. I love her. I believe in her. She's amazing. She's incredible. And so I love seeing what she has been doing, and I know that God has used her in your life in amazing ways. So I know she's asked me to come on here and talk about purpose. And I don't know where you all are on your walk, or where you are in your life, or where you are in your business. Maybe some of you have just started. Maybe if you've been on this for a long time. Maybe some of you have older kids, younger kids, and you know, you're just starting off, or you're working, you're staying home. I'm not sure where you're at, but maybe you're in a place like I was 10 years, or not even 10 years ago. Gosh, Amanda, time goes by so fast. 14 years ago, I found myself sitting in the front room. I was a stay-at-home mom at that time, and my kids were all little. My oldest was 5 years old. She was going to gymnastics. She had all these dreams. I mean, little. She was little. She had these dreams of gymnastics and wanting to do great things with her life. And I remember being this mom, and I'm staying at home with them, and everything looks perfect on the outside, okay? And I'm encouraging her, and I always wanted, just like you, I'm sure, if you have kids, that you want more for their life. But I felt like I was just lip servicing. I was just saying it. I was not living it. How was I going to tell her how to face her, you know, how to face hard times, how to go after her dreams if I had given up on mine? And so I found myself sitting, and I know sometimes some people will say, well, you had a dream. You were a mom, you had kids, and this has nothing to do with your family. This has to do with you, yourself, your personal dreams, your purpose for your life. And so, yes, being a mom and being a wife and having kids, that's part of it. But I knew that there was so much more. And here I am, been married, you know, for a few years with my kids at home, and I was watching Oprah. Okay. I was watching her, and all these amazing women were coming on here, and how they were doing all this incredible things in their community. And I'm like, what about me? Like, what am I doing? There's like, I'm not doing enough with my life. And what is my purpose? And so I started to pray. Now at this time I don't know, and listen, I want to be very clear. I don't know, some of you may be followers, some of you may not believe in God, and that's okay. And so whatever I share with you today, if it touches you, if it inspires you, if it encourages you, great. And if I say something that you're like, then guess what? Just toss it out, okay? So it's all good. But for me, this is part of my story. So I was starting to pray. My husband and I believed in God. We were going to church, but we were not living it, okay? Let me just tell you this. We were a hot, stinking mess in our life. It looked great on the outside, but inside I was dying. I don't know if some of you can relate to that. And so I started praying, asking God, what is my purpose? What am I here for? And I began to start having these dreams, okay? I started having these dreams of speaking and sharing the stage with Les. And let me take you back to 14 years prior to that. I was 18 years old. My best friend just died on my 18th birthday after having 2 liver transplants. She had autoimmune chronic hepatitis, and she ended up dying on my 18th birthday. And after that, I knew I wanted to go and help people to know the importance of organ donation, to tell people about organ donation. And at a very young age, I was given an opportunity to go and speak in front of my school on organ donation. And when I did that, I knew at that moment that I could use my voice to help and encourage people. But like so many of us, our life takes a hold of us, and life is hard, and we have struggles. And I went through depression and anxiety and almost wanting to take my life in my early 20s, and just my life spent out of control. And I forgot what that dream was until I had my kids. And I wanted to do better, and I wanted to be better. And I started praying about that, and God reminded me again that, you know what, there's a bigger purpose for me. And friends, I'm telling you, there's a biggest purpose for you. And so I started praying about this and started dreaming about it. And, you know, and I talk about this before, like I'm dreaming about it so much where I'm telling my husband, I'm like, Mark, I had this dream. I'm sharing the stage with Les Brown, and it's amazing. There's millions of people. And he's like, sweet. Now go back to bed. You know, can we talk about this in the morning? Like, okay, cool. And so anyways, I get up one morning and I decide that's it. I'm going to Google him. I don't even know if there was Google at that time. I looked him up on the internet. And so I looked him up, and he was having something called speaker training. Never went to it. No, never done something like this before. Never left my kids alone with their dad. Never left my house, my family like this, not on my own. And I had to decide, we didn't have the money. We did not have the money. I had to say, you know what? I had to take a leap of faith. And my husband was supporting me. He said, you have to do this. Not everyone understood it. Not everyone agreed with it. And I knew I was going to take, once I got on that plane and I started having doubts. And I remember opening up Jack Canfield's book at that time, and I was reading it. And there was a story about Les Brown. And I was like, I am supposed to do this. And I walked into this building. I walked into this room with all these speakers. Remember, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I haven't spoke since I was 18 years old. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I want you to know something. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing is going to go to waste in your life. Sometimes we forget, sometimes our life gets off track, but God will get you back to your purpose. And he's going to use the dreams and desires that are in your heart to get you to something so much bigger, bigger than you can even imagine. And so I walk into this room, and there's all these speakers, and there's politicians, and like people who are just smart. And you have to know me. I'm not that smart. No, really, I'm not that smart. I told you I'm a hot mess. So I walk in there. I don't have a suit. I barely have any dress-up clothes. My hair's in a ponytail. And I'm like, I am not leaving this room until I make a connection. And that weekend, I made a connection with Les, and he ended up mentoring me. For 2 years, I toured around with him. He would, once a month, I would leave my house and leave my family, and he would take me on stage with him. I did TV with him. I did radio. I did a PBS special with him. I mean, he took me under his wing, and I see Amanda just said something came up in my window. Sorry. He took me under his wing, and it transformed my life. But however, there's one thing I want to ask you girls, this is, when you know that purpose, and that purpose comes alive with you, and it's great, and it looks beautiful, and it looks great, because when I did this PBS special, I remember I called my husband. I said, this is it. I've always wanted to do TV. I always wanted to do something different in my life, you know, go out and inspire other people. But two things were going on at this time. I was on the stage speaking to women. And my biggest thing when I started this was I never wanted to be a hypocrite. No, we're never going to be perfect. But what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to say one thing and live a different life. And we've seen those kind of people, okay? And I was not going to do that. And as I was sitting there, as I was encouraging all these women, I knew back home my marriage was falling apart. The reason I started this, my kids, I wasn't the mom that they needed to be. And so I still thought, though, that this is going to be it. And I was going to get to go out and do TV, and all these amazing things are going to happen. And I got on that plane, and God spoke in my spirit and said, it's done for now. I need you to go home and learn about me and get your life together. And so it's important, yes, as you're going after this purpose, and you know there's a bigger purpose for you, and God is using Beachbody, he's using your coaching, he's using this to awaken something inside of you, those dreams again. What are those dreams that you're having? But it's very important to know, are you chasing your dream, or are you chasing your purpose? For me, my question is, am I chasing my dream, or am I chasing God? And at that point in my life, I knew I was chasing my dream and not chasing after God. My life was a mess. My marriage was left. I would be at home and I wouldn't be home. I was always thinking of the next thing, of everything that was out there and missing everything that was in here. So I'm going to ask you ladies, this one thing is, of course, to figure out your purpose is we have to know our why. What is your why? And I know Amanda talks about this all the time. What is your why? Because yes, you have to know your why, because know what you're going to, we all hear this. It's life's hard. You got to know what your why is so you don't give up, right? My why was my kids and my family. But you got to know your why, because when you sometimes get unfocused, it's going to bring you back to say, you know what? I need to realign myself. I need to bring this thing back here. It's also going to help you to be able to say no. Okay, what is your why? Because there's a lot of things out there that's amazing. I know even while you guys are doing this business, I'm sure other people have been calling you about what they're doing, all these other things. It sounds pretty. It sounds great. Maybe if I go and do that thing over there, maybe that one's going to work. Listen, you've got to stay focused. Is this what you want to do? Is this the coaching program you want to do? Is Beachbody what you want to be with? Is this the team you want to be with? Because it's going to get hard. It is not going to be easy. So let me stay focused on this. And so when all these other distractions start coming your way, because it's going to get hard and you're going to think, well, if I leave this, I'm going to go over here because you know what? It looks easier. It looks prettier. It looks more glamorous. Guess what? You're able to say no because it's not lining up with your why. So you got to know your why. And you have to be able to know why you're doing it. So if your life starts to get off track, listen, we all do it. My life gets off track and I have to go, okay, wait a minute. No, let's get it back. Let's recenter ourselves. What is most important here? Why am I doing this? And realign your focus. Another thing too, when you're working when you have this purpose and this desire and these dreams in your heart, it's so important not to compare. It's so important not to start comparing yourself to other women. It's important that you're not comparing yourself to other families. It's so important not to compare, and you just have to stay focused on you and what God's doing in your life. And it's so easy that when you're starting off in a business, listen, you're so excited. I get it. We're excited. We're fired up. And now your emotions are high and you're so excited and you want to tell everyone about it. But it's not for everyone. You are going to face rejection. And the people that are closest to you are not going to get you, okay? No one understood me and my walk all of a sudden, how I wanted to be a speaker and I wanted to encourage people. No one understood it. I had to start changing my life and changing who I was hanging out with, changing my mindset. And we'll talk about all that in just a second. I started changing all those things. No one liked it. No one liked the new version of me. And so the reason is, don't take it personal. You cannot take someone else's rejection personal. It's just they don't have the vision for themselves. It's not their dream. And you have to remember that if you are constantly looking for approval for someone else, you're never going to do the very thing that God's calling you to do. Never going to be able to go after those dreams and that purpose and that why are you doing it if you're looking for approval from everybody else? So ladies, it's so important that you love yourself. Love yourself. You got to work on yourself. You got to work on your mind. I am not the woman I am today that I was 15, 16, 17, 20 years ago, okay? If you would have seen me then and see me now, I am a different person. But you know how I was talking about your purpose and those dreams and desires and how God uses those for even a bigger purpose? I had no idea that God was going to use my dream and desires of speaking to radically change my life. So because I had these wanting to do more for my family, wanting to encourage my kids, wanting better for my kids, and wanting to be the example I set for my family. So when my kids say they hit hard times as they grew up, they can remember, yeah, my mom did it, so can I, right? That, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. I'm on such a roll right now. What was I saying, Amanda? Where was I? I'm on a roll.
You were talking about chasing your purpose and seeking approval and mindset.
Yeah. Seeking approval. That God was using that purpose to rewire my mind, to redo. Like, ladies, we are automatically have a negative mindset. Okay, it's just how our brains are wired, and we have to rewire our mindset if we really are serious about this purpose. If we're really serious about this dreams, if we're really serious about wanting to change our life, if you're really serious about wanting to make this business work, then you have to be able to work on yourself every single day. And it's what you're reading, it's what you're feeding your mind. And for a few years, I had to, oh my goodness, my phone is having issues. Ah, are you there? Okay. So I had to get radically crazy, not in a bad way, about my purpose, my dreams, and what I wanted for my family. And that's when people start thinking you're nuts. I stopped watching certain things on TV, not for religious reasons. Okay, no way. It wasn't because I was trying to be religious and putting all this rules on me. It was because I wanted to be different. I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. I was sick and tired of feeling like crap. I was sick and tired of going through the same toxic cycles over and over again. And I knew I needed to change me first, because sometimes what we do, ladies, so is listen, this is so important. So important is that we end up, if you're married, we're looking for our spouse to approve us. We're looking for him. We start focusing on what they need to change. And listen, we only can change us. And so I had to start rewiring my brain. I was very careful on who I hung out with. I was be careful. The words, life and death, are in the tongue, and that is for real. Our actions follow our thoughts. That is for real. And I was taking this for real because I was tired. And so you got to get to that place. Are you at that place yet? Like, I am tired. I'm ready. Like, I am ready for change in my life. And so you got to rewire your brain. You got to watch what you're watching on TV. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Who are you surrounding yourself with? If you're surrounding yourself around with people that you're trying to seek approval with, and we just talked about this, you're never going to get where you need to get. You stop looking for what you don't have. You have this amazing group already who is going to encourage you, who is going to be there for you, who is going to love you through your struggles. And so focus on who you're surrounding yourself with, and continue to take time to love yourself. When you love yourself, you don't let people walk all over you. You can't be manipulated, and you cannot be controlled anymore. So love yourself, know your why, realign yourself. Look at your focus, keep that focus. You got to stay focused. You cannot keep comparing yourself to everybody else. You got to know who you are, appreciate who you are, find joy in what you're doing right now. Like today, I just did a video, like, listen, ladies, we're busy moms. It's the end of summer, and we think we're going to have relaxation at the end in the summertime. Are we nuts? Who are we fooling, right? Like, it's going to be just as crazy as school time, except what, you don't have to get up. I homeschool my kids, but that is a whole different crazy. But you don't have to do the lunches, drive back and forth to school, but we still are going to have bickering kids at home. Kids are going to be bickering. We still going to have they still have their things that they have to do, and we still have to cook, and we still have to clean. You still have to go to work. You still have to have your business. So yeah, no. Who are we fooling? We aren't relaxing. It's going to be crazy, right? But if we are focusing on our purpose is always out there, you're going to miss it right here. All of the junk, all of the running around, being exhausted and coming on a video like this and looking like this, it's all part of it. It's all part of the journey. Look at Amanda's life. Look at Amanda's life. Amanda could sit there and look out and say, well, when my son, or when this, or when the baby comes, or when he, she can look at all these things, but no, what she does is she finds her purpose right in the mess. That is it. This is the dream. Ladies, I'm going to tell you right now, I can guarantee you right now, if some of you are sitting like thinking and kicking yourself that, oh my gosh, I haven't made it yet, and you're looking at maybe your sales is down, and your house is a mess, and whatever, your kids aren't eating right. Like, you could look at all these negative things right now in your life. I can guarantee you, if I talk to you one-on-one, that you know what, you're doing better than you imagine. You have the life that, so many people dream that they could have. And you have to remember that, because when you're going after your goals and when you start setting yourself out there, you're going to start feeling resistance. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it resistance. You can call it the devil. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's going to start coming at you, and you're going to be fired up. But then all of a sudden, boom, it's going to happen. Trust me, it's going to happen. And then you're going to start looking at your life, at all the things that you don't do well and how it's not going to get right, and you're going to want to quit. But I can tell you something. I know it. You're doing better than you can imagine, and you need to have a grateful heart. That's when you have to start saying, no, thank you. Thank you that I have this business. Thank you that I have this house. Thank you I have these crazy, stinking kids, right? Thank you. And to know that it's going to get hard. going after your dreams and desires and making a change in your life is so hard. And if you think it's going to get easier, you think you're going to arrive and it's going to be this Instagram pretty, so it's a lie. It's all lie. Today, I got this call today from a family member, another family member of ours that, you know, and the funny thing is they thought I was crazy years ago when I started on this journey. And it's funny, they're calling me now. And the same thing is going to happen for you. Whether you don't, maybe you know, you are wanting to speak and do those kinds of things or whatever it is, but God's going to use this business that they think you're crazy about doing, whatever, you know, your dreams and however God uses this in your life, and they're laughing at you now, you stick with it. You're consistent in what you do, and you keep showing up and being who you are. Not perfect. We do not have to do anything perfect. They're going to come back. I can guarantee it. And he called me today, a grown man, a grown late 30s. He's in his late 30s, called me crying today. His life's a mess. And they've only been married for a few years. And I was so sad afterwards, because I just thought, do people think that marriage looks pretty perfect? Like there's this image that nobody fights and it's supposed to be easy. No, it's hard. And that's when you have to decide to stick in it when it's hard. Now, I'm not saying if there's abuse and all that stuff, but what I'm saying is we've been lied to. We're lied to by the media. We're lied to by social media, and it's all a lie. Listen, ladies, it's going to be hard. And you are probably, I can say, like I said, are living living the purpose right now. And you may not think it is because you maybe have this fantasy of what you think it's supposed to look like. And life's messy. But I can tell you, you're living it. It's just a change of perspective. I'm not saying to be in denial of what your reality is, but it's just a shift in your perspective and how you start seeing your life. And so God's going to use this purpose in your life, and you have to make sure that you surrender it to, because if you're so focused on what you want and how you see it and how you think it's going to be, you will miss it. Like I said years ago when I started speaking and God said, no, it's going to end. He ended it and then called me to homeschool, right? Homeschool. What? That's not getting on stage and speaking to other people. You know, this isn't going around the world. This is not what I imagined my life was going to be like. And he used that in my life to grow me and to teach me and to make me a better mom, a better wife, and to help grow me. And in the middle of all this, he never allowed me to forget that he's called me to encourage and to help other women. He would bring certain things in my life to say, no, I have not forgotten this, but I have such a bigger vision for your family, because it wasn't just about me. Your purpose isn't just about you. It's about your family and generations to come. And I truly believe that. I truly believe, and I just am like feeling it on me right now, that God wants to break generation curses right now on your family. And he's using you, and he's using your finances, and he's using your dreams, that you are going to do it. The reason you're struggling right now and believing it is because no one else has ever done something like you've done before in your life. No one's ever dreamed this big in your life before. And guess what? You're doing it. And you're going to change the direction of your family if you do not give up. Remember your why. You got to be consistent, and you have to stay focused and be open to the things that God wants to use in your life. You have to be able to surrender it all over to him. Ladies, I just want to let you know too, that it's so important. And I've already said this before, but to love yourself and to let go of the shame that you may be holding in your life, that you think you can't be successful. See, when I first started on this, I don't think so many people have a fear of failure. We use that. Oh, I'm so afraid to fail. We're going to fail. Let's just put it out there. You will fail. Boom. Freedom. Okay. I made a mistake. Big deal. Get back out there and do it again. Right? We're afraid of success. We're afraid, what if we do something different than my family? What if I do make more money? Maybe you've been shamed in your family and you realize that if you do better, you're going to lose the people that are closest to you. And that could happen, but you can't hold back because of other people. You cannot hold yourself back. I grew up in my family life. When I grew up, my dad, my grandpa had he had a twin sister that they never spoke. They didn't have a good relationship. And we never knew my grandpa's sister. And all I knew is that she had a lot of money. And they talked about her all the time because she had a lot of money. She was successful in her life. That left an imprint on me when I was a very young girl. I never wanted to do better for myself because I never wanted to lose the people in my life. Like, that left me. I did not realize that until I was older. That shame was on me. What if I did better? I've always wanted to do better. I always have wanted other people to do better. Every single time God gave something to me, I want to push it out and give it to other people. And God wants you to have it first. God wants to know that you deserve it, that he loves, because he says you deserve it, because he loves you, and this is for you. And so I will hope that we're going to free yourself right now from the fear of success. You're allowed to be successful. You're allowed to be a powerful woman because that's who God says you are. You're allowed to be bold and courageous, okay? You're allowed to. You do not have to be the small woman and hide back in the corner anymore. He is calling you out for such a time as this. And we need it, ladies. We need each other. We need more women that are out there being successful in their life and in their business. It encourages other people. Do you know when you're courageous and you step out, and even when you're fearful and you're vulnerable and you tell people, I'm scared as ever, but I'm going to do this. It's like it electrifies. It's contagious. Other people want to be a part of that. And that's when it comes to believing in yourself and saying, you know what, you deserve this. You deserve to be successful. And so whatever shame is on you today, whatever you think that you do not deserve, whether it's because of your past mistakes, you are not your mistakes. You are new. You're a new creation. It's a new day. Today's a new day. You are not that. Sure, you did those things. Sure, you made mistakes. Sure, you've tried 100 different businesses before you came to this one, and people are looking at you going, oh no, not another one. Who cares? Don't listen to them. Not their dream, not for them. Okay. And some of those people that don't want, I think I said this before, some of those people who may have their hand out to you right now, they're watching you. And if God wants them to come back in your life, he'll bring them back in your life. And if not, guess what? There's more people out there. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to be angry. You don't have to be upset. You love them for where they are and move on. There's a whole world out there. You just have to be confident to go after it for yourself. So, Amanda, how am I on time?
You're good.
I'm good? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I think I want to also make sure I wanted to touch on too is I want to get back on our husbands. I'm sure there's some women that are married in this group. Many times we're excited about our business and we are going to our husbands and wanting them to encourage us and wanting them to tell us all these things that we're needing inside of ourselves. And ladies, you can't do that to your husband. I know I've done it. And then I get mad at him. We fight and I think, oh, he doesn't love me and he doesn't support me. Listen, there's this book. My desk is a mess. My room's a mess. This is a great book. It's called The War of Art. Okay, what it is, it's all about resistance. Okay, sometimes subconsciously, they don't even realize it, like your family doesn't even realize it. As you're getting ready to take yourself to the next level and your family, you're going to get pushback from them. And it's not because they don't love you. And it's not because they don't believe in you. It's just because it's called resistance. Okay, and it's going to come at you. And it's going to feel like, like they're just against you. And they're not. That's what you just have to say. I know what this is. I know what this is, and I'm not going to let it stop me, and I'm not going to let it divide my family or my husband. I'm going to allow them to be where they're at. I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to work on my business when I need to work on my business, but I'm going to also make time for my husband and for my kids. You can't allow it to overconsume yourself, even though I know I had this tendency, right? I already talked about it. I started chasing the dream instead of chasing the purpose. You have to make sure you're prioritizing things and knowing that, okay, this is the time. When is the best time for you to work? For me, my better time is early in the morning and then super late at night. And if it's worth it for you, you are going to make the time. You can't make excuses anymore. You can't blame it. You can't blame it on your husband that he's not there. God will bring the right people in your life. And when you believe it and already know that everything that you have is inside of you, then you don't need to constantly go out and look for it from other people. You have to be your best encourager. You have to be your best encourager. And again, that goes all the way back to knowing what's your purpose, what's your why, knowing who you are, believing in yourself, loving yourself. It goes all back to working on your mindset. Start with your mindset all day long. You have to recognize when those thoughts come, when those negative thoughts start coming up and those insecure feelings start coming up, and you're starting, this is what I know. I'll start feeling very insecure with myself, right? When I start putting myself out there and I feel like, I realize I am I say I'm a recovering people pleaser, and my drug of choice, I needed approval. Where's the approval? I need someone to tell me I'm okay. I need somebody to tell me quick, because this pain, because all these insecurities are making me feel so uncomfortable with myself. And God has He has moved me. Okay, let me tell you, from Michigan to South Carolina, which is another story for another time. So which is, again, He uses this. I'm thinking it for one reason, and it's bigger than I could ever imagine, but also to get me alone with Him and God, me and God. And I couldn't go to people and say, make me feel better. Somebody tell me I'm okay. Okay. No, God's like, I told you you're okay. You got to know you're okay, and quit it. I mean, seriously, He even gave me, it was like, I feel like I was a drug user. Like, okay, give me one more hit. Have someone tell me I'm okay. And I would do that to my husband, even to the point of, how do I look? How do I look? No. Don't do that to your husband anymore. He is not your supplier. God is. Quit going to them. Quit going to people to tell you what God has already told you and you already have inside yourself. And when those negative feelings start coming on, when those insecurities start coming on, you ask yourself this question. Who told me that? Who told me that? Did God tell me that? No, probably not. Those are lies. Either the devil's telling you that, or you're telling yourself that. And you immediately can say, you know what? I'm not gonna believe this. Walk away, get in prayer, do something to change that mindset. You know, another thing I have learned, I don't know if you guys read Brene Brown, but she is one of my fabulous, most favorite people to read. She is like, I love that woman. God has used her in amazing ways to break shame off of my own life. I'm telling you, when you have shame, you will, even though you know your why and your purpose, it will hold you back. It will not allow you to move forward, because again, you're going to look for people. You're going to look for people to tell you who you are. You're going to look for people to tell you, to give you that approval. And you're going to feel small. You're going to feel like you're always making, you're wrong and all those things. And so if you haven't read Brene Brown, she's great books to read. I say, read them all. But what you need to do is you got to start recognizing those feelings. Our feelings actually become before our thoughts. And if you start recognizing, like, you're starting to feel a certain way, like I know, like I said today before I started, my knees were getting a little wobbly, but I knew that one, it was excitement. There's certain things that happen to me that I'm like excited, but I also know there's certain feelings I get when I start feeling insecure and that shame starts coming out. Who do you think you are? You're not smart. You're not worthy of this. Why do you think this could happen for you? You're not good enough, Kim. And so I'm like, okay. My heart starts to feel real like braced too, but I get real tight in my chest. I feel like it's anxiety. You know what anxiety is, but this isn't really anxiety. It's not a major anxiety attack, but I feel like it's like a minor anxiety attack. I start getting these really bad feelings in my chest, and I feel like I almost can't even breathe. And my mind starts becoming very foggy, and I almost can't even get a clear thought. That is, I've already been able to recognize and say, oh my gosh, this is shame. Okay, hang on. I'm losing you again. This is shame. I'm going to reject these feelings. I'm going to start, because we can't get rid of shame. Shame will always be there. But if we can learn to be resilient to shame, then we can stop it before we get into that cycle of toxic crap that we do. And again, all that does is keep us away from belonging to ourselves, as Brene Brown says, and really fully going out, owning our story, owning our purpose, and living our best life now. And so, ladies, I know my time is almost up, so I just want to recap real quick, and I hope this blesses somebody today, that in order to follow your purpose and your dreams, that you need to know your why, you need to stay focused, you need to be open, because you don't know what this is really for. And you're going to look back in years from now and go, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful I said yes. I'm so thankful I stayed with this. I'm so thankful because look at what happened through my obedience and through my faith of stepping out. If I did not step out 15, 14 years ago to go meet Les Brown, and ladies, I need to tell you something. I didn't have the money. I told you not for the money, the ticket. I didn't have the money for him to coach me, but yet we found a way for him to coach me. I learned more than just about speaking. I learned out who I was. I learned that I needed somebody to see something bigger in me because I couldn't see it for myself. And it transformed my marriage. It transformed my family. My kids are not who they are today. But if I didn't take that leap of faith 15 years ago, I can't even tell you I'd be married today, because God had to work on me. And when God works on you and changes you, everything changes. Your family changes. Your community changes, because you're whole, you're complete, and you know who you are. You have purpose inside of you. You have a bigger purpose for you and dreams. And ladies, it's just the beginning. This is just the beginning for you. So stay committed, stay focused, and continue to love yourself and be your best encourager. Amanda, I hope this blessed somebody, and I hope I was able to serve you and everyone well tonight.
Passion sweats, for real. Listen, so this is what got me. When you said, are you chasing your dream or are you chasing your purpose? I was like that's quote worthy. That's going on. That's going in a post. That is good. That is good. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, that's incredible. It's funny that, what you were saying about, what we do is, that we have the chance as coaches to see the potential in other people that they don't see in themselves, whether they're just starting off with their health and fitness journey, whether they don't think they'll ever be a good coach or they don't have purpose. We have such an opportunity to mentor people and see the best in them. So when you said that, I was like, that just nailed it. I mean, that was perfect for me. So thank you. Like, I got lots of great notes. I got lots of stuff in here that I'm going to make sure that I'm looking at in my own, journey and my own business, and staying focused, just staying focused, keeping my head down and really just doing the right things and not letting comparisons or rejection or, squirrel get in the way of me, living out my purpose. So thank you, Kim. I'm blessed.
Oh my gosh,
I know the ladies are blessed.
Listen, you're changing lives. All of you are changing lives, and Amanda, you are changing lives, and you got to know that. You have that. Listen, I'm grateful, and I hope I served. Like I said, it was an honor to be here and to serve all of you. But there ain't nobody like you, and it's the truth. Receive it, girlfriend.
That I'm working on that, sis. I'm working on that for sure. Like that's my mean girl. That's my shame, right? That's my shame. That's one of the things I'm working on. So I appreciate that. So thank you.
We're all work in progress.
So Kim, Kim's going to be doing a course, a workshop, where it's going to have myself coming in and speaking, some of our friends that are sharing some of their stories and some of, with their lives. And Kim's really going to be talking about shame, and living out your dreams and really focusing on women. And I think you said less.
Yeah. Well, yes, it's going to be a 4-week coaching program. So you're able to do online. You'll be able to do this in the comfy of your own house. I'm calling it Love Yourself Back to Wholeness while you discover solutions to everyday struggles. I made a joke today and said, what was I thinking? Being in the summertime, I should have said, love yourself back to wholeness through the insanity of busy summertime. But anyways,
true.
And we're going to talk each week. I will do a teaching. We're going to talk about purpose. We're going to talk about forgiveness. And the women that are coming on, Amanda's one of them, are incredible. We're talking about joy and pleasure, and which we also going to cover shame in that area. And we're going to talk about courage. And each week I'm going to do a teaching. We're going to have a speaker also come in during that week to share and to do their thing. We'll have homework assignments. I'm also going to offer 2 online calls, so like we can have Q&A during the month, prayer, discussion, Q&A, whatever the group is needing. And then also Les Brown has been so generous, and he's going to do a 90-minute coaching how to tell your story and earn money while doing it. And so I'm real excited about that. I'm going to be launching it here in just another week or 2. And if anybody wants, they can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. On Facebook, it's Kim Watt. And then on Instagram, it's, I think, Kim Watt 10. I don't know. We'll find it.
I tagged you in one of my posts, so.
Okay, yeah. And then my website is KimWattSpeaks. And so, you know, if anyone wants to get a hold of me, if you guys want to be part of this coaching program, I'll make sure I get the information to Amanda too, and she can post more information once we have the dates. And again, you'll be able to do it on your own time and all that good stuff. And I say this is only for real women who are really serious about wanting to change their lives and are ready to get real with themselves and real with other people as well. Because man, that's how we heal. That's how we become better, is when we're together.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule tonight. I'm sure Riri is, hopefully she's in bed, but who knows?
She's probably not in bed. Mark's up. Listen, I didn't even tell them what my kids' ages are. I got an 18-year-old who's graduating, so I'm a hot mess. I'm going to get off the call. She's going to be leaving for college soon, and so I am an emotional basket case. Okay, one minute I'm happy, one minute I'm crying, and the other minute I'm mad at her for some reason, just because I don't want her to leave, you know. So I think that's my mechanism. But anyways.
I love it.
I have a 16-year-old son, a 13-year-old daughter, and then Riri is 8, and she just gets away with everything.
Yes, she does. And her 3, actually all of her kids kind of came up through the kids ministry with me. And it's been a pleasure to serve their family in that capacity as well, and get to see Kim grow and see her family grow.
They all said, "Tell Miss Amanda we said hi."
They're so fun. I love them. Well, thank you. Thank you again. Ladies, I'm so thankful that you all could jump on, and until next Monday or next month. Oh my gosh, see, pregnancy brain. Until next month, we will see you then. And I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.